God, I'm so energized by just looking at the ideas, but also the presentations. And I have to give a big commendment. The students, wow, Melbourne Uni, is really acing it, and the conversations are really taking flight, which is. So we are now going to be doing the last theme, which is open innovation. And of course, productivity is always about cost savings, but the other equation of productivity is also economic growth. So that was the third challenge. And the first team which is going to come through is Seven Wonders, I think they've called. So team 9, come on over.
No slides.
We'll freestyle, don't worry. Alrighty. Good afternoon. I'm Zainab, and I'm a member of the Seven Wonder team. That's our theme. All right. Fact. In the last financial year, the Australian Signal Directorate received over 87,000 reports of cybercrime. That's an average of 1 report every 6 minutes, and that doesn't even account for the number of crimes that went unreported. Fact. In the last financial year, the average amount lost by small businesses to cybercrimes was a whopping $49,600, which was up 8% from the previous financial year. By show of hands, how many of you in the room today, when you lock your car or lock your house door, just check one more time just to make sure that you've definitely locked it? Yeah, we're all guilty, but in a good way. Just like that, cybersecurity isn't just about having a password or having email phishing technology in place. It's about us, the human security, being aware and doing our part to ensure that we're being cyber safe. Despite the advancements of technology, despite the depths of AI, technology often comes with costs to businesses, costs to finances, and costs to our security. And a lot of these costs are often a result of people who use the same technology that's amazing and very beneficial maliciously to take advantage of those who are unaware and unsuspecting.
So just pick a small business owner in Victoria. There, they click on a promising blog and then they get contradictory evidence. Back on? Yeah, voila. Gracias. Confusion is the constant. They try an online course, they get cluttered, complex and overwhelming information. They abandon it. And more than that loss, there is no single source of truth. There is no clear path for them to safely organise their business. What should we protect first? Should we protect customer data? Should we do payments? Their anxiety grows. And a loss to cybercrime could absolutely cost them their stream. But it doesn't have to be like this. So we'd like to introduce Cyber Assist Victoria. It's a government-backed, community-driven initiative transforming chaos into clarity for Victorian businesses. A single centralised hub in your definite source of truth for cybersecurity. No more scattered resources, no more conflicting advice. Part of this will include an AI-powered chatbot offering tailored advice and guidance in real time. White hat security bot to scan your systems and identify weaknesses and provide actionable fixes. And it doesn't end there. Sorry, we're going to connect to businesses, connect to existing government supports, offer one-to-one advice, and offer free cybersecurity training. So we've got one site, but that's only one part of our solution. So we want to develop peace of mind.
Let's see.
Cool.
So yeah, there's a group of people that might be missed out with this sort of digital-centric approach, and that is people that have to use computers for their business, but don't really know how they work. So we also have a solution for them, and that's doing something like what I'm doing now, which is giving a presentation, just an old school thing like that. So we're envisaging in communities around Victoria, there might be a presentation like this on something like password hygiene, something super basic like that, because that's what the audience needs. We actually already have a program for this in Victorian Government, which is the Regional Launchpad. So this is going to be putting hubs around Victoria to try and connect local businesses, and we'll just use that space as well. We'll also point them onto our website, of course, and they can use that as needed. How are we actually going to get people to these events? How are they going to find out about it? We're going to partner with an existing organisation that they trust, which is their local bank. So the bank, as part of opening an account, they'll be like, we care about your cyber safety because that benefits us too if you don't get your money stolen. So why don't you go help look at this Victorian Government website or this event, which I can search for you and get some training there. And this can start small with just one bank branch, and then if that works, we can scale it out across the state. And that's kind of the idea, those two parts, a good website and this in-person training delivered and advertised by the banks. Thank you.
Great, great. We have your names as well. Please just come in. Please. Okay. And also the coach. Can we invite the coach as well? Yeah. And the questions. And introduce yourself and your department.
Hi, I'm Simon. I'm from Court Services Victoria.
Hello, my name is Indra. I'm from University of Melbourne.
Hey, my name is Jaime, and I'm from the Department of Transport and Planning.
Stefan from Government Services.
Hi, I'm Ben from Health.
Hi, I'm Zainab from Senatex.
Hello, I'm Keyo, Master of Data Science students at Unimel.
Hi, Andy Amber, Department of Health.
Thank you. So questions, yeah, Edward.
So I like this idea a lot because it makes a lot of sense to say, let's educate small businesses and individuals about cybersecurity, and let's just use normal things like lectures and people at banks, right? Because banks know, if anybody knows about cybersecurity, banks do. And then also let's put up some kind of informed website that really helps. Now, being in the AI business myself, I would never trust a chatbot, a generative AI thing on my cyber information. Never, absolutely zero, right? So I know that people in ANZ Bank, they use Codex, right, a code generator, but they check everything that's done. So they would never put that thing in front of a client. So how are you going to make sure that when this chatbot helps a company, I come to this thing and I'm asking about cyber information, how are you going to make sure it's not going to lead me down a wrong path?
Okay. Sure, so the idea, we've actually got a couple of ideas around the chatbot. And the first one is really sort of generic advice, helping business owners that need to use technology but don't understand how to do it safely for themselves, for their business and for their client base. And that can be generic. But what we're also offering is a checklist we were talking about that would be delivered by an expert through consultation. And behind that, we would then use an AI tool that would stand in for penetration and security testing. So instead of spending a lot of money dealing with the cybersecurity expert for business and going out procuring a vendor, going through the whole thing, we would use a lightweight AI-driven system to give you a nice high-level overview of your security posture of your business.
So if I understand correctly, what you're going to do is every so often here at the university, I get an email that says, oh, click here because your thing isn't properly filled in and stuff. And they say, haha, we caught you because, and then I feel like a potato, right? So you're going to do something like that too, and you're going to have this sort of fake spam come in, or fake cyber attacks come in and tell the person, oh no, you haven't done this properly, you haven't done that properly. I think that's a fantastic idea. That would be really good, especially if there's someone in the bank I can go to and say, please help me, I don't know what the hell to do here. So that's basically the idea. I think it's a great idea. It would help a lot of companies.
I'm going to say yes, it was part of it, but yeah, that makes it sound like it was the whole idea, which is a cool sell. So thank you. Yeah.
Join our
You
team.
could have lied, you know. Any other? Yeah, look.
What's government's role in the advice that we're providing to small businesses?
So,
what role does government play in providing the advice? Are we staffing with the experts and?
Well, it's facilitation basically, because what we found in our search was there's a whole bunch of government services that help you set up your business, help you run it, help you do everything, except for this piece. So it ties in with all the other government services that go to supporting small business.
So are we providing advice, or are we providing guidance on things that they should care about? My question is going to risk. So what's the risk to government if we've provided advice to a small business that they then implement and then have a breach? Are we then liable?
Understood. The idea is to partner with with industry.
Okay. Right.
So yeah, facilitation and partnership.
Thank you.
I've got a question. The effectiveness of this service is a timing thing. So what will happen is it's only when they get breached will they reach out for assistance. So have you thought about how we become more proactive in ensuring small businesses are armed ahead of anything happening?
Yeah, so we actually prepared cost-benefit analysis for this as well. So it would be on part of our benefit slides here. So for this solution, we calculate the SROI, social return on investment. There will be two benefits of this solution, tangible benefit and intangible benefit. What we're looking for would be on tangible benefit. We're trying to reduce the cybersecurity attempt or attack by 30%. So it would be benefiting into 20 million, avoiding 20 million potential fund loss. And then the other would be increasing the time for the business owner to just focus on their business. Before, they would be thinking a lot more about their cybersecurity, but now they don't need to go back to their home to make sure is it locked or not. We are making guarantee that we are doing that for them. So it will be impacting another 1 million. And then calculating every tangible and intangible impact. And we calculate also divided by the cost. This solution, every dollar spent into this solution will be 18 times fold the return of the investment. So when we are talking about the benefit, only 3 benefits that can be tangibly visible here. The reduction of the threat, the time increase for the business owner, and then a free cost for the security knowledge, because they need to pay. Yeah, that would be the benefit we cover so far.
All right, thank you.
Sorry, just add as well, in terms of your question about time, so currently we'll be leveraging the existing platform of the Victorian Government website. So they currently have a cybersecurity section that's run by the DGS, and we'll be putting, based on the impact of the security concern, we'll be updating the website. And we can also look at perhaps doing like an EDM, email marketing kind of stay in the loop thing, where we can send out newsletters or anything impacting a high number of users, such as the Latitude breach 2 years ago, or the Vic Roads, just the Latitude. I think there was a banker as well, but yeah. Hopefully that answers the question.
Yeah, and maybe food for thought is at time of registration of a new business, it's around a health check of their cyber capabilities and understanding. Food for thought.
If I may.
Last comment.
Last comment. I'll be very quick. Yeah. Absolutely. Another little idea was a badge. We didn't want to use terms like certification or anything like that, but just something that small business can put on their marketing material, whether it be a website or whatever it is, to say we've been checked and we've done this work. It's safer with us than with them.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well done.
All right. Hello, we are the Sensational Seven. As we all know, the pandemic significantly reduced community engagement in Victoria. As a result, we all became more isolated and our sense of community weakened. We're also challenged by a lack of meaningful connection and accessible information. This not only affects our social cohesion, but also stifles economic growth, productivity and experiences for our communities. This disjointed approach can be overwhelming and discouraging, leading to lower participation in our community events. Local businesses are also suffering as they struggle to reach potential customers and engage with their communities effectively. The lack of a one-stop information source for planning and attending events creates barriers to participation, leaving many of us feeling disconnected and uninformed. Take the experience of Phil and his family.
Hey Dad, are we ready to go to Melbourne show yet?
I'm trying, son, but planning this trip is turning into a nightmare. I just want to take you out on a fun day out, but it's like I need a degree in logistics to figure everything out.
What's wrong, Dad?
Well, let's see. First, I need to find out the event schedule. Why do I have to go through 7 different websites just to get the information I need? Can't they put everything in one place?
Dad, will there be a ramps and disabled bedroom for me?
I'm looking, Jamie. I need to make sure there's a wheelchair access for my son. Why is this information so hard to find? It's like they don't even consider families with special needs.
And Dad, where we are going to stay? Is it a nice place?
And accommodation as well. We need a place to stay nearby, but finding a hotel that fits our needs and budget is another headache. Why can't there be one place to get all this information?
And Dad, how about the weather? Is it be sunny?
The weather. Oh, it's supposed to be sunny, but I also need to check for pollen to count for hay fever so that I can pack extra allergen meds for everyone. There has to be a better way to plan this. I just want to enjoy a day out with my family without all this hassle. Gee, if only there was something that could handle everything all in one place, that would make life so much easier.
Now let's visit Bobby, who's planning a local community fete.
Organising this community fete is turning into a full-time job. I just want to bring everyone together, but finding everything is driving me crazy. I'm even talking to myself. Okay, let's see. I need to organise food and drink. Why is it so hard to find a list of them? And then I've got to find sponsorship to cover the costs. But finding businesses willing to sponsor us, that's another challenge, and it's just not how it was pre-COVID. Okay, and you know what else would be good if I could find what's worked well in the past? It's just exhausting. I wish there was an easy way to do this, like a central place where I could find all the vendors and potential sponsors in one go. I just want to focus on making the fete amazing, and I don't want to spend my time dealing with logistics. If only there was like an app or something that could handle everything to find and organise all in one place where I could connect with other locals, it would make life so much easier. And what would be even better is if it could collect feedback from different events, so fates in the future we could just make it so much better, like how many toilets do we need for people?
Introducing Victor, Victoria's integrated community and tourism app. Victor is an inclusive digital platform designed to connect people with events across Victoria. It adds a user-friendly interface to an existing reusable whole of Victorian government tech stack, including database and API management platforms, to deliver a seamless and scalable solution. Here's how it works. Victorian citizens or tourists can create a profile and set preferences such as interests, language, accessibility needs. Based on these settings, Victor generates a personalized dashboard of upcoming events, complete with real-time data, including weather and pollen forecasts, nearby toilets and parking, transport options, accommodation, food. Events can be explored through a list or an interactive map, making it easy for citizens to plan outings that are both exciting and accessible. But Victor isn't just for attendees. Event organisers can log into the business portal to connect with like-minded businesses, collaborate or post requests for vendors and suppliers, fostering a more connected events ecosystem. Now we'll look at some of the benefits and opportunities mentioned throughout our presentation, and we'll also take some questions as a team.
That's really good, Victor. Yeah, please introduce yourself and your teams, and also the coach, if you can come up. Thank you.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Sandy. I'm a Master of IT student at Unimel.
Hello, I'm Catherine, not Bobby. I'm from Senatex.
Hello everyone, I'm Russell, I'm a graduate at Cenetex.
Hi, I'm Jared. I'm in the Transformation Office at V-Line.
Hello everyone, my name is Matan. I'm a Master of Software Engineering student at UniMelv.
Hi everyone, my name is Tarun and I'm a Master of Computer Science student at Uni1.
I'm Tanya, I'm from Enterprise Technology at Department of Health.
Bianca Pickett, proud coach from Cenetex.
Hey. So judges, questions, who wants to go first? Oh, wow. Luke?
How is this different from Visit Victoria? So they have a website that you can go to and look at events.
Sure, I think the value add that we have is the connection to the publicly available API data sets that may or may not be in that tool that you're talking about.
And the ability to filter on, I knew the answer before I asked it, and the ability to filter for accessibility and other.
And your own personal preferences in your account creation, yep.
So what's the implementation timeframe for something like this?
So for feasibility, it would be 50K in 3 months to create a proof of concept. Because we're reusing architecture with the database and the API platform, we would only need to create the user interface with the two portals.
Use case for the proof of concept?
The use case would be the two portals. So the first one being the general citizen or tourist portal to create their account with their preferences and find events. And then the second use case would be the business portal for event organizers and businesses to register and then have that environment to request collaborations, vendors and suppliers for their events.
Thank you.
How would you pilot it, just with a couple of councils, or what would your pilot approach be?
Sure. So the pilot, I mean, the general citizen and tourist portal would, we would have no actual mechanism to do that. We could use councils to provide citizens who want to try this app as a pilot. The business and event organizers, we could use the same method of using councils to volunteer some event organizers to pilot.
I think also beyond the pilot, to get the app and everything going, is really good to partner with Invest Victoria, getting a lot of businesses coming back to Victoria, being the creative state, being the state that is forward thinking and progressive. So it would be a great way to try and get businesses back in to a place where there's an application where we know citizens are really comfortable to use it. Businesses can connect with locals and sponsors and vendors.
So have you thought about, I don't know exactly what's there now, but have you thought about also going and harvesting dynamically additional information, additional sponsors who may not know that they need to register with the government, and just bringing them in and searching for other opportunities and things? Is that part of what you plan?
So our initial problem that we were looking at is fragmentation of information across government. You've got a lot of different services and information going everywhere, and a disconnected community. So I think there's a lot of different information sources that we can draw on, not just government, but also different sponsors. We could use Ask Vicky to draw on different information and things to pull in together.
So that was my question, actually. Sorry, my question was, what will you use to go and get this extra information? What's the mechanism? What's your vision?
Yes. So especially when we're looking at suppliers and sponsors and things like that, we can utilise existing registrations. If you're a food truck provider, you have to register your food truck. So when you register your food truck, you're told about this platform. It's recommended that you join it. Get the word out through that way. So if you're registering an event, the same kind of thing, partnering with other event platforms like Eventbrite, things like that. So just making sure we're connected with every other sort of platform or stakeholder that's related to the event side of things. Yeah.
It's a good segue to my next question. Who are the major stakeholders that would need to be on board with this for it to be successful? Like, who would you need to get really engaged so that you could get the adoption?
So the main stakeholders who uses these applications will be the attendees, can be Victorian citizens as well as international tourists, and the one it helps are the communities because they can actually see the events happening around them, and it also helps the local businesses around the community. So we focus on those stakeholders, and yeah.
At a higher level of stakeholder engagement would be councils who might understand the landscape of all of the events within their council.
I think also maybe like Parks Victoria and places like that that do a lot of event management as well, event spaces.
Great. Right, thank you.
Thank you. That's it for the questions. Thank you. Thank you. We're coming to the last two presentations, so coming to the tail end of our 1.5 day of, yes, coffee miners. Thank you. Team 12. Welcome.
Oh, do you want me to press the... Yeah, if you want. And then, oh, wait, Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for hanging around. It's been a long couple of days.
Hello.
We're the Coffee Miners, and over the last day and a half, we've been brewing something special. Solution to one of the most pressing challenges facing Victoria's residential building sector. Today, we're proud to present My Home Build, a platform designed to rebuild trust, transparency, and accountability in the industry. To set the stage, let's talk about the residential building sector. It's a vital part of Victoria's economy and community. Where dreams of home ownership are realised, builders showcase their craft, and government policies shape the future of our built environment. But this sector is under pressure. Recent builder collapses, disputes, and inefficiencies have eroded the trust and created risk for everyone involved. These aren't just abstract challenges. They're real stories from homeowners and builders and government stakeholders struggling in a complex and fragmented system. To truly understand the challenges, let's step into the shoes of three key stakeholders.
So we spend over $5 billion a year on residential building and construction in Victoria, with over 60,000 new homes last year. But we see thousands of complaints and claims lodged due to builder insolvencies. This issue has pain points at every angle. Got the consumer who feels they don't have access to the right information and left stranded by builder collapses, causing stress and derails life plans. We've got reputable builders who are lost amongst the bad apples and are walking away due to that and costs. And then you have regulators who act when the damage is done. So the pressure is mounting because the public expects a fix now. Okay, sorry. So
now let's step into the shoes of three stakeholders.
Thanks. So we have Maria. So Maria is a first home buyer. She's hopeful, excited, doing what a lot of Australians dream of, which is building her own home. But she's overwhelmed by marketing and good information. She's picked a builder who looks good on paper, but months later, she's left with a half-built home, rising costs and endless delays. The builder goes under. She's now out of pocket, emotionally drained and unsure where to turn. Maria's experience isn't rare, and it's not just about money, it's about well-being, trust, and a system that feels like it's abandoned her.
Bob, the builder, is a reliable builder. He takes pride in delivering quality work and complying with regulations. But he's constantly undercut by non-compliant operators and spends more time defending his reputation than doing what he loves, building. He feels invisible in a system that doesn't reward good builders or help them stand out.
And then we have Sally, who's the government officer. She cares deeply about serving the community, but frustrated because by the time the complaint lands on her desk, the damage is already done. She has limited tools, siloed data, and enormous pressure to respond quickly, but no way to provide proactive support. So Maria, Bob and Sally represent the reality of challenges in Victoria's residential sector. Maria's dream has turned into a nightmare. Bob's hard work goes unnoticed, and Sally is left managing the fallout. These stories highlight the urgent need for a resolution that rebuilds trust, transparency and accountability across the sector.
This brings us to the core issue. Victoria's residential building sector lacks transparency, trust and accountability needed for consumers to build with confidence and good builders to thrive. The government to proactively uplift quality and reduce risk across the system. It's a significant challenge, but it's also an opportunity. And that's where My Home Build comes in. It's a centralised digital platform designed to rebuild trust and transparency in Victoria's residential sector. And to show us what it looks like.
Yep. So we spoke a lot about the problem, right? So what's the solution for all this? This is a diverse multi-platform solution we want to offer. It's essentially a seamless interface to connect the three stakeholders, which are the homeowners, the builders, and the government essentially. How does it benefit each of these stakeholders, right? The homeowners. One of the homeowners goes around looking at thousands of websites, goes near their house, who are the builders, and then figuring out who is the right person for them. What does this software do for them? It just concises everything, keep it in one platform. Now you see who the best builders are. I want an affordable home. Oh, you got it right there. I'm in a rural area. You got it right there. Eco-friendly, you got it right there. So it concises all this information and does the market research for them. The next stakeholder is the home builder. How do I stand out from my peers? As EcoSmart builder, say one of the builders, I get a builder score. And this way, I can stand out from the other builders which are there and also showcase where I am good at. And also, the third stakeholder, which is the government. The government intrinsically wants no issues happening in all this. They want the homeowners to find this data. They want no people going under the bus, right? This provides them that solution. Inclusivity is the #1 priority for us, and that's why we have gone with a web application which goes across multiple devices. And also, people who might not be able to understand this tech savviness, there's an AI-powered chatbot. With the power of their voice, they can go through all these things. For example, I want to build a 4-bedroom in Geelong on Slow P block, which is quite niche for their issue. So how can we help it? We'll get the list of builders which can help them directly about it. Thank you. So this is the tech stack which we want to build around, right? For the front end, back end, and then the databases. Wiki was our chatbot where we wanted to help the people. And these are the APIs through which we get all this information and show it to the end users.
With a modest first-year investment of approximately 1.5 million, My Home Build delivers 57 million in annual savings, representing a 46-to-1 return on investment. This is a transformative solution that reduces risk, protects consumers, and strengthens Victoria's building sector.
So this platform is more than just tech. It's about empowering homeowners, giving them confidence, not confusion, by providing a platform where they can find reputable builders, reliable information and guidance, supporting quality builders, allowing those to stand out for doing the right thing, protecting consumers through transparency and accountability, strengthening the industry by rewarding quality and reducing risk, equals a stronger sector for everyone. And a smart design and chatbot support open the door to enhance accessibility for all users.
Thank you.
My Home Build. My Home Build is more than a platform, it's a catalyst for change. By fostering trust, transparency and accountability, it empowers homeowners, supports builders and strengthens the entire building sector. Thank you for your time, and we look forward to your feedback and questions.
Great. We're just moving, yeah. Just going, yeah. And can we also have the coach? That's great, and more coffee. So do you want to introduce yourselves, name and department? Thank you. And come a little bit inside here. I don't think it's on.
Hello.
Yes.
My name is Tarek, Masters of IT student at University of Melbourne.
Andrew Marshall Juarez, Building Policy Senior Policy Officer in Department of Transport and Planning.
Yeah, that's me as well, Sai. I'm a Masters of IT student at UniMelb.
Hi, I'm Lena. I'm from the Major Road Projects Victoria.
I'm Regan, Innovation Lead at Victorian Managed Insurance Authority.
And Elizabeth Young, another proud coach at RDV.
Thank you. Laurel, yep, thank you. Some questions?
It's quite a significant investment in comparison to some of the other areas. Where would you pitch to get your funding, or where do you think you might be able to get that from? And how would you demonstrate some of the benefits?
Okay. Indeed, it is a significant pitch, more significant, but it is a significant benefit. So the complexity in this project is that we are bringing together 3 user groups which are critical components of the Victorian economy as a whole. So the residential construction sector is the 4th largest employer in Victoria. We're talking about $35 billion of economic activity per annum. We're talking about 30,000 home starts per year. We're talking about 20% of home start owner-occupiers ending up in dispute resolution. We're talking about a cascade of costs across the economy, and these are a cascade of costs to the government and other stakeholders. So the complexity here is that we've got Victorian Managed Insurance Agency, which is of course a state insurer. We've got the Victorian Building Authority, and we've got Department of Transport and Planning. We've got data sets that need to be tied in with each of those. So the core functionality within My Home Build, can we just go back to the website possibly? That Sai was talking about is we've got, if you're a homeowner, you can go here, you're creating a profile, that profile is connected into an authentication process, which we can go into. That profile then provides you with a pipeline into information provided by the regulator and by the Victorian government, which provides the government with a another channel, an important channel to get to homeowners and inform them. If you're a builder, it's providing you with an opportunity to talk about your product and put your best foot forwards. If you're a homeowner, because you're verified by the process through your occupancy certificate, by your building permit, you can provide a verified feedback to your home builder. And that's something which just doesn't exist out there at all. One of the great benefits of something like Amazon is that you can go and see other people that have actually verified purchasers and users of that product or service. And this would provide this for the first time. And then for the government, we've got an API connection which is providing a whole range of data sets back to regulators in the department. And that interoperability needs to be planned through. Now, there is currently a reform process that's going on with a bill in Parliament as we speak. So there are reforms to the Victorian Building Authority. Digital upgrades are a big part of the integration that's going on. So this is a perfect time to look at a reform like this that would bring those data sets and capabilities together, but we would need probably 6 or 12 months at the least to work through the functionality and deliver those benefits.
Sorry, could you repeat that?
Do you think you could slice it down at all or not? Or
Look, with the will and the investment, and a whole bunch of bright minds, I'm sure anything's possible. I don't know, from Vimea's point of view, I mean, this is the great thing. We're fortunate on this team to have a really great connection of capabilities, and that's one of the reasons that we're confident that this is actually a realisable project. And you know, we've got fraud and cyber security here. We've got app and mobile development here. We've got Lena's experience actually as a user in the system, purchasing a home and her inputs in the user journey, and we've got insurance through Vimeo here as well. So we've lived and experienced most of the components of this, and we think it's really doable.
So the notion of trusted builder, so for Victorian government providing this level of service, does that mean we're underwriting anything that potentially goes wrong with the notion of a trusted builder? So we're putting a new homeowner in touch with the right profile builder, and if that then goes pear-shaped, is that the intent here?
So no, the intent here is that consumers would be providing feedback on their experience with the builder. The government is facilitating a gateway where consumers and potential homeowners can find out key information they need as part of their due diligence. Does this builder have a current registration? You know, what are the processes that I need to step through as a consumer before I make that purchase? The government isn't authorising or condoning or anything. It's simply facilitating an information channel for people to get better data.
I think it's just something to consider. It's a risk element for the branding as it's shown there. As a consumer or a citizen of Victoria, I would make the assumption that government is then underwriting this notion of that's a trusted builder, I'm comfortable. So just food for thought.
I don't think we're saying, sorry guys, I'm doing a lot of the talking here. I don't think we're saying trusted builder. I think we're talking about trust. And trust is a product of better information flows. So what we're trying to do here is improve the information flow. And the government is providing a facilitation role and providing critical and key information. We're not saying that this builder, so the information that you're providing as a consumer is, what was my experience with this builder on my journey? I mean, absolutely it's an issue. But any time that the government provides information on a process or a service, you could argue that the consumer is saying, are you providing an effective underwriting for my experience with this? And the reality is that we all know, you know, government doesn't always, you know, it does its best. And what we're talking about here is setting up something which brings parties together, provides a service that no one sector can provide by itself. But, you know, everybody knows it's the real world, I think.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Do you know actually if one could extend this by putting insurers and banks and mortgages in the same system, so that when you as a home buyer actually apply, some of your information could also be shared with them, and they know, okay, we'll give you this much money if you go with certain builders that we like, and you carry certain insurances and things like this. My EA, for instance, is exactly in the position of your first case study, where she just paid a lot of money, and this builder is just unscrupulous and is going bankrupt soon, and she just loses the money. There's nothing she can do, and there's nowhere she has to run around from bank to bank and from all these. It's just very hard for her. It's very, very sad to see over the years. And so I think having more rather than fewer different factors playing a role and integrating here would actually be a good thing.
And last
Sure.
comment. Thank you. Yes.
Absolutely. We were certainly looking along the community mindset of it in terms of expanding this to health sector, education, community activities where, because our citizens could actually look up, you know, medical support if they were needing, or community support, and finding local areas, or if they're moving to a different area, and find, you know, establishing, is this right for me? Does it have schools? Does it have the hospitals and medical facilities that I need? We can see wider aspects of this, and certainly I think anything's possible. But in terms of insurers and financial support, I think that's a great add-on.
True. And at the crux of it, right, like we also wanted to add this builder score aspect there. So from the data available publicly, where I as a homeowner might not be able to go to all these platforms and get the data, but we as a platform will give you the builder score to embolster the trust on it, and also leaving out other third parties to figure out who is the correct builder for them.
So is the cause of the problem, so we're saying that the problem is the building sector is under pressure and builders are failing or going insolvent. So is the root of the problem that people are going with builders that aren't trustworthy, or is there something else happening?
And definitely last comment after that.
There's a few things going on. So we've got post-COVID, we've got a whole bunch of supply chain issues. We've got a fairly deregulated sector, so we do have bad apples. We've got an undersupply of trades, so we've got people being pulled in that don't necessarily have the experience. There's a whole range of things that are feeding into that. What this is about is trying to give a leg up for those builders that are doing a good job and that have got it together, but also helping consumers, because it's quite confusing trying to navigate the permit process and all the other systems that you need to do. So it's providing, going to the VBA and navigating their systems, that's one thing. But this would provide an interface where you've got a range of benefits from going to that, and it would provide an additional channel to really bring things together.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. And now the lucky last, the Avengers. Oh, wow. That's fantastic. Team 1. Lucky last. Thank you. Oh, Terry.
Hi everyone, we are the Avengers, the Vic Gov version. We're the last, and so we've saved the best for the last. So as the Avengers, we have created a solution based on a problem that we wish we all had as, we're navigating a new life in Australia. To set the scene, we've got Lynn, an entrepreneur from China, wondering how to open up a cafe in Melbourne. Take it away.
Can I get a long black, please? Sure, just a moment. Wow, I wish I could open a cafe like this, but I must think the rent must be really expensive in a commercial building like this. Yep. Thank you. Do you know where I can get some advice about opening a new cafe in Melbourne?
I don't know, but maybe my friend would. This is Aussie Mate.
Ni hao, Lin.
Ni hao, Aussie Mate.
Yes, I am Aussie Mate.
I want to open a new cafe in Melbourne, but like this fancy commercial building, I think the monthly rent will be too high. So what do you advise?
You say commercial building? Why don't you think about residential area?
No, well, in China, we are not supposed to open a restaurant or cafe in residential areas.
In Victoria, unlike China, you can open a cafe in residential area.
Oh, that's great. Well, thank you for the information. Where can I learn more about opening a new hospitality business?
If you want to learn more, you can go to Victoria government. They offer a service. They offer a TAFE course, free TAFE course.
Free TAFE course. What is TAFE?
TAFE is the equivalent thing with diploma in China.
Oh, I see. So I can get a diploma from TAFE Victoria. Thank you, Aussie Mate.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that was like a sneak peek of our app, and here is the problem. So every year, Victoria welcomes 100,000 new migrants. But settling here, it's not so easy for them. So you can see here, 33% of them miss out on vital services, 42% struggle to navigate information independently, and sadly, 25% even face exploitation risks because of language barriers. So all of this is actually impacting their well-being and also slow down Victoria's growth and productivity. Now the question is, how can Victoria government help these migrants to settle faster, accelerate into the community, so we can unlock Victoria's full potential?
Thank you. And you can see from the statistics there, Victorian government are trying to support immigrants coming in. And at the end of the day there, this is really the outcome that we're dealing with. Our solution is a smartphone app using a large language model. The key areas that the app is going to address is obviously cultural and contextual intelligence, in which services, forms and processes are mapped to the country of origin, to the Victorian government. So at the end of the day, what we're doing is looking at VicGov services mapped to China and similar services, because the person, the immigrant coming in, is familiar with that service. Similarly, and added to that is a guided interface, a step-by-step way of engaging in plain language country of origin interface to allow the person to problem solve and work through the problem of moving to education, establishing a business, accommodation services, health services for their family. And finally, and most importantly, is giving them a sense of empowerment and protection of legal rights. So at the end of the day there, you've got a challenge where people are exploited coming in as they're trying to navigate Victorian government services. Our friend here, Dias, has built a schematic for a large language model, and similarly what we're doing is using this for China, just showing how that would work, and then the benefits at the end of the day.
Yep, so AussieMate is a multilingual AI concierge that leverages cultural context from your country of origin to tailor information that enables you to access Victorian government services conveniently at your fingertips through the app. So it delivers benefits throughout the entire government service, as you can see here. And by doing so, we unlock three impacts: growth, productivity, and well-being. AussieMate coordinates information access to new migrants, so faster access to services so that they can quickly participate in the economy. An example being Lynn wanting to start a business. Also helps departments to work smarter and deliver better outcomes, as it frees up frontline workers by reducing repeat and duplicate inquiries. AussieMate is an accelerator for Victoria's economic and social progress.
Woohoo. Oh, wow. That's great. If you want to introduce yourself and the coach as well. Oh, Elizabeth, welcome back.
Beep, beep. I'm Diaz. I'm Master of Computer Science student in Unimap.
Hi everyone, my name is Hassan. I'm from the Department of Jobs, Skills, Industry and Regions.
Hi everyone, my name is Faith. I'm a product manager at VMIA.
Hello, my name is Mila, Masters of Energy System from Unimap.
Hi, Martin from DFFH.
Terry from Senatex.
And Elizabeth Young again, now doubly proud.
Great, we've got a question.
Well done, everyone. That was terrific, and I liked the acting that went with it as well. Thank you very much. When you're pitching an idea, it's often important to let us know how this is different. So what's your value proposition? How does this exist already, and if not, why? And how are you different from other market products that might be comparable?
You've got apps out there. Service Victoria has got an app. It's really just a landing page. It does offer some functionality. Multicultural Affairs Victoria also has a toolkit, and that's just a printable product that you read. So this takes it to the next level, where you've got a large language model, and effectively in native language, the app is conversing with the new immigrant to try and solve through everything from vaccinations to setting up a business to accommodation services.
So it's a one-stop shop that they can interact with.
That's correct.
And the information's verified in a way that it might not be if they were just using Google?
Yes, so we've thought about that. So how we'll derive the information is from human-based prompts. So that information will be verified by the human who's given the equivalent of similar service from their country. We'll also work with community partners to verify that information, but also the language or the model will learn and give verification from other users who've given similar prompts. So it gives that way of learning and verifying the information.
Yeah, and just quickly, I think the other big thing is like the immigrant context, because I think just doing a quick Google on problems, like sometimes they don't know to ask the question. So it'll be based on you're from China and you might be used to certain jurisdiction. In Australia, it works this way. So yeah, you don't have to ask.
So two-way context.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well done, guys.
Very good.
So to know the two-way context, you have to actually understand the building permits in China and Cambodia and Vietnam and Brazil and etc. That's a lot of work. So I'm not sure how you're going to actually build this.
Yeah, I think first you'd probably prioritize one of the bigger cohorts. So you'd say, so I don't know the stats off the top of my head, but go for wherever most people are coming from. So for the Victoria side, you'd use the Victorian public data set, probably similar to Wamba, so that sort of thing. And then for the other side, it'd be trying to find trusted sources and then verifying it with user testing.
Any other question? No? Good. Thank you so much. Aussie mate. Oh. Thank you. Wow. And look, congratulations to everyone who's been here today. And look, I can see that people have come out of their comfort zones. And and the combination, the fusion of VicGov and students, I think it's a big hit. So congratulations, everyone.
Round of applause.
So I think with that, I'm going to leave you all with Nikki, and I'm going to take all the judges, and we're going to do a debrief. And Nikki can do some reflections.
We will have some reflections, and we will have a QR code coming up, and it's People's Choice time. In the meantime, can I please invite the coaches up? But yeah, I want to hear from each of you. What are the things that you loved, and what are the things that you found challenging?
Passion for innovation, passion for change. And it's not necessarily being satisfied with the status quo, but it's about how can we do things better, and looking at it from the why and how we enable it, rather than that we can't do it. It's more how do we do it.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. So the willingness, the eagerness, and that mindset, coming back to that mindset again. Yes. Bianca.
I love the diversity. We had a team of completely different people from different departments, 3 amazing Melbourne University people as well. We were all sort of surprised at the collaborating, and getting together. What an opportunity to be able to bring diverse people together. It was amazing watching them collaborate, come up with an idea, present it, get all the way through to final up here. It's just been phenomenal to watch. And I think there'll be some friends out of this, some connections out of this, and that sort of thing, which I think is awesome.
I know I saw so many people just connecting over the last few days, but even what you're seeing today has been amazing. Just thinking it's like less than 24 hours that the teams had to put something together. It is amazing. It's such a result. Toby.
I like the breakdown. Like once my teams got together, they sort of sat around and went, "I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this," and they really worked quickly together. And I was just watching from the outside, and I think it was really enjoyable from a tech perspective to go, wow, there's some of the uni students were just pumping out information within like the first 15 minutes to go, could we do this? This is the solution. And then the VPS crew going, oh, easy, let's just work out a better, no, we've got 2 days, let's use the 2 days. And I think that sort of cross speed was what really drove really good solutions across the group. And I love the challenging. There was a few ideas that were put up and it was sort of shot back down, but in a really, really easy and calm way. And then for my advice, some was taken, some wasn't, and I think it's worked out quite well that they didn't take some of it. So
there you go. It's always good to have a bit of a mix, right? It is. And working together.
Yeah, I really loved yesterday when I came in, and after the teams were already grouped when we came in at sort of 8:30, 9 o'clock. Everybody's already into it. And after we had that morning session, I went over to check in with the teams. They already knew each other. They'd already introduced each other. They knew where they were from and what their skill sets were, and they'd launched straight into it. And it was great seeing how those ideas evolved over that very short time period. And I think that everyone did really well in having something that was almost, quite well polished by this morning and ready just to refine and really nail down. So it was a really exciting couple of days.
I'm glad you enjoyed it, and I think I'm hearing a lot from everyone here that the students, it's something different that we tried this year, and it just seems that it added such energy. I know students go to hackathons probably a lot more often than VicGov do, so thank you again for coming and bringing the energy. And it sounds like it was so good to collaborate, with each other, the VicGov and students. So thank you again for that, Elizabeth.
I just want to echo that. The students were fantastic. They just fitted in seamlessly. And I can't believe how easily everybody came together and worked so well. So I think that was a real pleasure seeing that. Doesn't always happen with teams. There's usually a bit of forming, storming. None of my teams had any storming. I loved it. They were fantastic. So thank you.
Thank you, Nikhil.
Well, I'm pretty much going to echo with almost everything that you guys have said. The energy was palpable. I just loved how teams sort of took it, like as the afternoon was folding right to the end of the day, and then this morning again, that sense of urgency and just getting stuff done. I think that energy was phenomenal. Again, students, I think we should expand our grad program a bit more. The talent that students bring, it's quite interesting to see how much they actually already know. Like we had we have the student in our group. He already had figured out the technical solution by just quickly reading up things, and he came up with a pretty spot-on solution with respect to what exists, how does that architecture diagram fit in, etc. We pay that sort of money for consultants. Right? So I think we should expand our grad program. There's certainly a lot going on that side. Some of the challenging aspects, I think it was really about which ideas to pick. There's so many things to be done. One of the biggest challenge was to really, for the team perhaps, is to really go, all right, this is what I'm doing, and say no to the other good ideas as well. That's probably one of the challenges. But the energy was phenomenal. Just loved the 2 days, the way they went. Thank you.
Thank you for that. And I always, I used to be in HR and recruitment, and I always think bringing in graduates is amazing. The fresh perspectives, great ideas, and the energy as well. So I definitely agree and echo that. Anthony.
Well, congratulations, everyone. I came in, I didn't realise people were up here. Sorry, Ben. I'm in frame now, apparently. Congratulations to all of you. Every presentation, and in fact, every problem that you were solving was really relevant for what we're seeing in front of us. Now, I've been in government 3 years, and I could resonate to everything that I've lived with, what you presented up there. I think if every one of those could be implemented, I think we'd be way, way ahead. But there's a common theme. So it's great to see that most people are seeing a common situation, which is access to data and being able to find out what's true and what data is actually the right data. But what I really liked was it wasn't death by PowerPoint. It was great ideas that were up there, presented in an innovative way. You were thinking about the problem, you had the solution, so we could actually clearly see how you're going to go about it. And, I look after budgets, I could afford all of those, which is phenomenal. I've never seen them so cheap, so you can all come over to government and run it over there. But I've got to call out to my team, Platypus, Project Platypus. And it was just a delight working with them. And to your point, Nicole, about working with students and all the different mindsets that are going through here, it really grounds you out looking at things a little bit different, because sometimes you get caught up. And as you saw in the very beginning, I talked about look around. There's some great ideas. It's just you learn, mix, and talk to other people. And I think the way this was set up, the different dynamics at which in each group, the different, people where they've come from, the background, really brought the different thinking amongst it all. So I can only say congratulations, and I'm glad I'm not a judge.
Thank you for that. Thank you so much. And one of our return coaches, so I do have to ask, obviously it was a different layout, different location. What did you feel about the vibe? Last year it was on different floors, it was, at a different place. What was the vibe like this year?
Phenomenal. Can I come and live here? What a facility. Yeah, just phenomenal. It's also great having everybody on the floor, because you could feed off the energy from everybody else. So I love this place. Awesome.
I think everyone's been like, can we stay here forever? But yeah, it's just around the corner. We can always come back, right? Yeah. Any other final comments from anyone? Yep. Sharing is caring.
Hello. So just on the vibe again, I think I was just talking to Jody previously out there. Just coming to a university makes it like a real hackathon. We got to do this in a university setting and just get out of the office from time to time. And I think that's where you see typically you'll have this public servant sort of a hat on. The moment you walk through the gates, I think people left that hat on the table because there's no difference between how anybody would collaborate and the students have collaborated. It's exactly the same open mindset. So it's really nice. I think the place does that magic to you.
Yeah, and I think even some of the teams even said, "Oh, wait a minute, we are citizens, so we can just ask ourselves what our common problems are." When one of the pitches, so it is almost like you're stepping away from that 9 to 5 and stepping into something a little bit different. I think the space allows that as well.
And having easy access to caffeine always helps.
And snacks. We had so many snacks. And the sparkling water, yeah. I think the first day all the snacks were gone. I was like, brain food was definitely needed. So there we go. Well, thank you. Thank you, everyone. We can send you off to go vote now because I know you're eagerly wanting to, Toby. Can I invite the Innovation and Technology panel up? I would love to hear some of your insights and particularly maybe some of those tough questions that you may have had over the next couple of days. You're not. I can see them coming up. I can see I can see them talking to each other like, "Ooh, we're coming up." But Nick, I can start with you. Well.
1, 2. What I learned today, what I just learned is the cool kids call it Unimel instead of University of Melbourne.
Okay.
So that's pretty cool.
Unimelb or Unimel?
Unimel, I think.
Okay, now we know, but we all know that now.
Yeah, the other thing I noticed, it's my first time on the Tech and Innovation panel, is no one came and talked to us for about half a day. I think we were looking at each other and getting worried, but I think it was a good thing because people weren't focused on the solution. They were they weren't focused on tech, sorry. They were mainly focused on the problem and how to solve the problem, and then tech came secondary. So I think that was great. And same about the location. Kudos about the location. Don't know who can take credit for that, whether it's you or Ash.
Collective.
And similar to what Bianca said, I want to live here as well.
I love it. And any challenge? Did you get any curly questions?
No, I don't think we got any curly, but I was also impressed with people wanting information and being really forthcoming about it. I think particularly some of the students, if I put myself in their shoes probably a long time ago, I was very shy, but they came and go, "We need this, we need that information, we need the costing, can you give us some advice?" So that was great.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for that. Deb.
Hi.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good.
Have you had a fantastic
I've
time?
had an amazing 2 days. It's been brilliant. My first hackathon, and it's just been awesome, and I've been so impressed with all the teams and the ideas and the collaboration and the facilities. It's been amazing.
I know you were very excited to come up here and talk about the experience yesterday, and that was only the beginning. So
exactly.
was there anything that really stuck out for you, or
going
any big questions?
Going around talking to the teams, you could see there's themes around what people are trying to solve, and that's the data issues and the integration amongst interdepartment organisations. So you can see that people really want to solve these problems. So we all really want to come together and share information. That's what I'm seeing. So it's good.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah, and
great.
I think there was some great solutions around sharing data and everything.
But everyone looked very engaged and enthusiastic. So it's brilliant. I'll be back next year.
Amazing. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Cheryl.
Yeah, this is also my first hackathon, so thank you for inviting me, Scott and Nikki. Yeah, fabulous day, a great experience for a first hackathon. I love that everyone put the person in their design first and foremost, because good design is all about people. And yeah, all the technologies that come after that was also great. So really loved everyone's, ideas and being open, to all the challenges out there. So, and hopefully I helped out a few people too.
I'm sure you did.
First of all, thank you for inviting me over. This is my first time with the hackathon, just like Cheryl. And it's been a real pleasure working with some of the team groups here and helping them with their solution. They got the great ideas, they don't know where to go with that great idea, how to convert that into a solution, how does it look like. So helping them out in materializing that information, putting into diagrams, helping them out. That's a great experience for me as well.
Fantastic. It's good to hear. And Scott,
Yeah, this is my second time, and being last year's panel is a bit different from this year's panel. I think we mixed it up a little bit. Like you can see on the stand here, like we're not all tech experts as well. We got policymakers, or we got lawyers, and we got BAs and whatnot. So everyone brings different skill set. And for me, I think this year, similar to last year, we meet new friends. And VicGov is so big. It's only my second year in VicGov, and learning so much as we go along, and just by meeting some of you and understanding what you do in your department, that definitely helps me expand my VicGov knowledge, and which really helps. And the students is amazing. I think my first impressions are University of Melbourne. Yeah, you can't go wrong. They keep challenging you, and they're very quick in their thinking, which is keeping us on our toes, I guess, from a technical aspect. But hopefully we can give you back some of the real-world application of technology, if that makes sense. And hopefully you get something out of it. But I certainly did, and I'm sure everyone else in the room felt the same. So thank you all, and looking forward to see the winners. And in fact, everyone looking forward to see all the replays in everyone's pitch today. So that's really good. Well done.
And was there, I guess, from the group, was there anything that you hadn't thought of before? Until somebody has come up to you and asked the question. Was there anything that you hadn't come across before, or you felt they were all things that you kind of thought of?
I guess it's not just a single challenge. I think that the beauty about technology is that I think we all know that we're spot for choice for technology, and everyone brings different challenges, different thinking. It's just how you apply it, and I guess the interworking between how you use them, the different building blocks. It's like a Lego blocks, I guess. You can buy a predefined Lego blocks, and when you tear it apart, then you can build multiple things, and that's how I perceive all the interaction that we have, I guess, with everyone, how you use those blocks, I guess. So,
Thank you. And any other comments from any of the panel members? No? Well, thank you so much for your time. I very, very much appreciate it. Thank you. Now, we've spoken a lot about students, and we've welcomed you, but I would love to hear if any of you would like to come up with me now and share a little bit about your experience from your perspective as a student. Yes. Come on, you guys. Oh, there we go. I'm staring at some of the chatty ones that I was talking to, and I heard some of their experiences already, so come on up. Woo. Anyone else as well? Yes, come on. I was looking at you as well. We had a great chat. Yes. And please, if you're feeling brave and want to come up as we're chatting, please do. But yes, how was your experience?
It was so different than what I expected. When I came in, I thought we were going to be a group of students working together, but I was so shocked when I saw that we were in a room of entirely different people. It was such an amazing experience, though, meeting new people, learning new things that I've never would have thought of. It was amazing. So thank you, my team, for practically pushing me on stage and forcing me to say this. But I genuinely loved working with all of you. It was like an eye-opening experience of what it would be like working in teams in like a professional setting. I learned so much. Thank you so much for hosting this.
And I was going to say as well, you as you said, you obviously being in university, you do get projects, but they're not necessarily real world projects. So I guess, and you can jump in as well if you want to answer it. But I guess how was that working on things that do touch citizens or are kind of real challenges? Like, how was that experience as well?
Yeah, mostly it's self-rewarding because we know that what we are going to do, what we are going to implement, later will benefit lots of the people. So mostly the work we are doing at class would be Either it will be benefiting to ourselves or to just 5 people of our group, or sometimes there will be free riders, free riders in the group work everywhere, every now and then, right? But then in here, everyone contribute and everyone doing their best, and then it will be self-rewarding because it will be impacting a lot of people.
I love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Thank you so much for that. We've spoken a little bit and you shared a little bit about it, but yeah, share with the audience as well.
Yeah, I've been going on about my experience to you guys as well.
I know.
It's been so overwhelming because when I started first, just like Pavitra, I thought that I would be walking in a room full of students or maybe people, my age or something. But then, okay, I don't mean that in a wrong way, but
That's terrible.
that came out in a wrong way, but
Maybe just other uni students. Yes, yes. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
Thank
Yes.
you. Yeah, I thought it would be uni students that I'd be collaborating with, but I walked into a room full of people who've been working with the government at such a huge scale and have been, providing that kind of impact and working through all of that. So it was great to come out of the classroom and work on things that actually would have a practical solution and that would impact people. And yeah, it was amazing. Thank you.
Thank you for that. And again, anyone can jump in. It doesn't necessarily have to be for you, but any key takeaways as well, like things that you feel you could bring back to what you're doing in your studies as well.
Definitely the innovation part. I wanted to touch on that, but first I wanted to echo the whole surprise about the age thing. It's actually was better than what I expected, honestly, because good save, yeah.
Good save, you're good, you're good.
No, but I think that being able to think of new ideas and innovate with such a amazing group and it was just an eye-opener for me, something that I could really step out of. I talked about this before, but doing assignments and exams, it's so formulated. It's so you're stuck to your own a specific way. And so this type of platform, talking to such a diverse group, in my opinion, was groundbreaking for me. So I'll definitely carry that over to university.
That's fantastic. And I hope all of you will continue speaking to all of the people that you've met as well, because I think, as everyone said, they love picking your brain, and it's a great partnership. So definitely continue those conversations with your team.
I'd just like to add to that the fact that the teams here are so diverse, and as a student, you're kind of overwhelmed that, okay, should I speak? Should I hesitate to do this or that? But the team collaboration and the way that teams were so accepting of what you're saying and listening to those opinions and making you feel like an equal here was amazing, and I just loved that part of this hackathon.
Wow, that was brilliant. Thank you. Another round of applause for the students.